Ho, 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 and welcome to episode 66. Can you believe it?
Wow.
66 was sold with Updike Pugh.
And I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh. I threw him off just a little bit with the ho, ho, ho. Man, we have done it. It is an entire year worth of episodes.
It is.
It's been good.
It has been, yeah.
I think we've learned a lot. We've had a couple of critiques that have kind of helped us, and I feel like we're shaping the show. And what's really great is that we have a new time slot.
Yes.
For 2020, and we're really excited about this.
We are moving to Wednesdays at noon. So you're going to find something else to do on Tuesdays at 3:30, but Wednesdays at noon, come and follow us.
And we're excited because hopefully this will give you a chance to join us while you're having lunch. We kind of thought that this might be great. The slot opened up, and we were really happy to take it.
Yep.
But kind of going back into real estate now, it's there's been some news out right now about foreclosures.
Yeah, one of the things that I was reading today is that the U.S. foreclosure rate is at a 20-year low right now.
That's good though.
Yeah, it really is, and it points to a good economy. It points to a good housing market. It is. When people still get laid off, they still lose jobs, all those things happen. But what it shows is that there's equity in homes where people can get out of the home if they need to.
And we've seen that time and time again because we see transactions where it may be a cash buyer that is the one that gets the final bid, or when people come in and they have 20 and 30% down. Again, we've talked about that for a long time about how healthy we think that even if there was a slowdown in the market, that homeowners right now would be in a totally different situation than they were in 2005, 6, and 7.
Yeah. The weird lending things that were going on back then are not going on now, and they have made, I think, credit for homes more accessible for people by rolling back some of the guidelines or some of the restrictions that were put in place after the last recession, but it's not gotten like crazy loose like it was. I mean, you used to be able to fog a mirror and get a home mortgage, and
it's frightening.
If you're going through that process now, it's not like that. You have to verify that you make enough income. You have to qualify for the house. They want it documented now.
And the other thing too, kind of shifting gears just a little bit, when we were getting ready for the show, we also came up and saw some really interesting information about home flips in the United States and the top 10 markets and where Dallas ranked, and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, one of the other things that I saw is that we're really at the bottom of the top 10 markets for home flippers right now. Do you know, in many markets across the country, the average home flip can make now, this takes into account all price points, but the average home flip can make $67,000.
I don't think that's what it is here in Dallas.
No, it's closer to 40,000. But
yeah.
But even when you hear those numbers, it makes people want to run out and do it. But in the third quarter of this year, less than 5% of the home sales in our market were home flips.
And I would say from our experience in certain areas, we know when flippers come in and they take advantage of a market, they actually can, if not done properly, they can do more harm than good to a neighborhood.
Yeah, we've had 2 or 3 experiences this year with people where they were buying a home that was flipped, and when Chris came out to do the inspection, it really it fell apart because it really revealed a lot of things that weren't taken care of behind the scenes on houses.
Weren't up to code, permits weren't pulled. It just was a big calamity that we kind of had to avoid. And I thought it was really interesting that the article goes on to talk about how flipping a home is not simple like it is on HGTV. And there used to be a show, and I don't know if Ceci remembers it, but there used to be a show on there that was like renovation projects gone bad.
Yeah.
And it was like a weekend concept. And just, it was an everyday couple, whoever, that was trying to do this. And it was always ended up disastrous, and they would come and fix it. And I thought that kind of show is a much more relatable and accurate than, Chip and Joanna, who instantly make this beautiful home appear like, look what we did.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
It's not. And there are people, I think there are people that do well with that. They, they have the expertise, or they have the skill, they have the, the foresight to do all of that. But, one of the things that if you don't plan on how much time it's going to take, and the carrying costs and your interest payments and things like that, I mean, that's what's going to eat up a lot of profit in the flip.
And one of the things that we're going to talk about in the second segment is statistics based on certain areas in the DFW Metroplex. So it kind of is a way for us to show everybody what we do when we help those that are looking to do these type of investment properties.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we're going to jump right into 3 houses.
Yeah.
3 great houses.
Yeah, 3 really great houses that we toured this week. The first house that we saw is 11206 Northland Circle. And this is such a cool property. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home, priced at $1,179,000, and super, super dramatic. Love this house.
And I also like the area because this is a northern portion of Dallas, and it's a little bit larger lots in this area. You get to take advantage of the toll road right here, and then east and west. Again, it's so important in Dallas if you're not going to take 635 or Northwest Highway in this area. You've got great feeders, which are Forest, Royal, and Walnut Hill. Amazing. You have about every restaurant that you're going to want. A couple of them might be in Uptown that you don't get up there, but almost everything is up there for you.
Yeah, the Preston Forest section is, all 4 corners of that have really great shopping. There's a big Whole Foods up there. And like you said, the access to the tollway there, north or south, is really great.
Yeah. And so the other thing too is if you're going to use Love, this is a great way to be able to get access to Love or even DFW, because you can jump on Northwest Highway. If you're not from here, both really great ways to get to the airports from there.
Yeah. So let's jump into the pictures of these houses, because I really want to kind of show you what we experienced when we were going through this home. As you walk in the front door, you are greeted by this really majestic stone fireplace and vaulted ceilings. The beambox vault is really very cool. It provides a feeling that you just get hit with when you walk in the door.
And the great thing too is that it is an open concept. And this kitchen has a double island. It has Gen Air appliances. The fridge that you don't see in this image is actually going to be the same material as the cabinets. And it just creates a very clean aesthetic that we see so many people want today. Not everybody wants modern, but everybody wants it to be clean and crisp.
Yeah, this is really kind of a farmhouse modern in a way. Yeah. It has the tumbled stone backsplash. What's it called? Sensimilia, the granite that was used in this.
I'm going to draw a blank on that one.
But it's really beautifully done. You can see the hand scraped oak floors in here really provide lots of warmth to the house.
And this is a dangerous room. This is a living room off of the kitchen that then also has its full bath and the utility room right here. And then it does also open up to the backyard. This would be one of those rooms that is perfect for, we would call it a mother-in-law's suite, an au pair. And then off of this, you also have a full bedroom. So this portion of the house can almost be self-contained for an extended guest, multi-generational family, whatever you like.
The kids' bedrooms are really great sized. This one's got bunk beds in it, which I grew up with, so I just absolutely love. But the house is really bright and light and open, big closets, lots of built-ins, as you can see in the guest room here. The powder room has been redone nicely as well. Full shaving height vanity, I guess, is a kind of a more modern term for it.
And those 2 bedrooms that Jeff just mentioned in that bathroom, also with this master here, are on the opposite end of the house. So it's really great separation. The master is large enough that it does have a seating area that's not featured. Inside of the master closet and bathroom, really spacious. And again, you see a lot of attention to detail.
And the outdoor space in this one is really nice as well. This is the back side of that fireplace, which it's not it's a double-sided fireplace.
is.
It's not open all the way through, and a huge backyard.
And that is a tree house in the very, very back. This yard has mature trees that are all the way around to provide a lot of privacy. But the amazing thing too is that if you were a family that wanted to put a pool in, this yard would be perfect for a pool, plus allow you still to have green space for whatever you need.
Yep. 11206 Northland Circle. Really a great, great home. If you'd like to see this home, give us a call. We'd be happy to show it to you. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 3-car garage, about a little over 3,500 square feet, built in 1956, but certainly brought up to today's standards, priced at $1,179,000, which brings it in about $329 a square foot.
And we want to say thank you so much to Jeremy Whitaker for allowing us to feature your home. And one of the great things about this neighborhood that we didn't point out is that there, I believe it's 6.9 months of inventory, which is really great. And that's an equal.
That's a really balanced,
equilibrium. Very balanced. So fair for buyers and for sellers right
yeah,
there. So
yeah,
it's
great
not-
neighborhood to look in.
Yep.
So the next house that we want to jump into, we're going to head over to East Dallas. And this is in, it's kind of what realtors call the L streets, because there's all kinds of streets that start with the letter
There
L
are.
over there.
So this is equivalent to the M streets, just in a different portion, and this is 9314 Larchwood Drive, and it is a great neighborhood. We're seeing a lot of developers. We talked earlier about flippers, but we're seeing a lot of developers come in and take and buy these houses that have probably been owned by an original owner for many, many years, even decades, and are starting to do a process. But in this case, we have a really great, strong flip.
Yeah, and super, super convenient. This is, if you've lived in Dallas for a long time, you'll know that Walnut Hill goes all the way across the city. Royal Lane goes all the way across the city, and they are just really great commuter streets. If you lived in Las Colinas, worked in Las Colinas or worked out to DFW Airport, this would still be a really, I'm not going to say quick commute, but it'd be an easy commute.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is if you're the outdoors person, this is one of those neighborhoods that is really critical.
Yeah.
There are trails that Dallas has done a really good job of getting, and they're working every day, it seems like, to make them all connect. So you'll be able to go from that deep downtown, Deep Ellum, all the way up. I don't know how far up north, but you can get there and White Rock Lake now. So great exercise and outdoor space.
Yep. And this has really great curb appeal. It's one of those things that you hear about on HGTV all the time. This one's definitely got it. Pull up to it, brick exterior, nicely done shutters on this, relatively new roof if it's not brand new. Looked like it was in just great shape. It's been landscaped very, very nicely, and you have a really warm feeling when you pull up to this.
So this is a great house, and I don't want to say it has to be a starter home because I feel like this can even go past that. But when you go inside, you can tell that this is a group that understands what home buyers want from front to back. And they work on things. Texture is often used, so they really do a great job with the floors throughout. They've done a really great job of knowing when and where to use wallpaper, as they did in the entry, and then pops of color here and there. They've just thought it all the way through and made it easy to live in.
Yeah, and they retain a lot of the charm because they keep the hardwood floors. They change the floor plan up a little bit. I believe all of these windows in this home
Yes.
have been replaced. And they create all these nice little seating areas. Like this is a kind of a formal living area. You've got great bar seating in this home. They've done the quartz countertops.
And Saks tile backsplash.
Yeah.
They understand where their money needs to be spent to give them the most bang for the buck. And so they do simple things like add the black pulls, and the black pulls then are echoed back into the black hinges and the black knobs used on the doors. And it just creates this front to back understanding of what makes a house more appealing and what does today's home buyers really want.
Yeah, and they've kept the kind of the separation between this and the formal dining area because one of the trends that we're seeing or I think we're going to see in 2020 is that formal dining area is back.
I would agree with that. I think we've said that.
And this is the front bedroom that I think would make a really great office if you've got somebody that works from home.
And the second office or second bedroom right here, again, we talked about earlier the windows. These windows continue to be new. They've done a really good job of giving you the palette that you need. One of the things that I absolutely loved about this is that many of these homes have original cabinets that have this angle that you can't quite see here, but they've done a great job of preserving it and putting on the quartz countertops. Many times we see these tiles and tile backsplashes and they have a lot of pink, a lot of turquoise, but they were able to do a white coating on these things that create one great space.
Yeah, and the master bedroom on this is really a great size. I think that's a queen size bed, but it's the width of the headboard is almost as big as a king size. So I think you could do either in there very comfortably. They use the glass faced barn doors to create this really wide opening. And that kind of flows into the master bath, where you've got double vanity, the big walk-in shower with the frameless glass, and done very, very nicely.
So one of the things that we're going to see in the next image that I get really excited about is having a workshop on site. And so this has a double door entry into it. It's off of the garage. And you can see here that it has multiple 110 outlets. I'm not 100% if they are 220 or not, but you do have space to really be able to get it. And here you can see the garage on the left-hand side, and just to the right, you can see that oversized workshop, which is great for whatever you want to do.
Yeah, if you want a house with a really great artist studio, if you got somebody who does woodworking,
Ceramics.
this is a great home for them to consider. Sorry.
So this is 9314 Larchwood Drive. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1767 square feet and built in 1956. Remodeled within the last probably 6 months. It's priced at $479, which is $274.08 a square foot. And we want to say thank you so much to Tamara Torres for allowing her highlight her amazing listing.
Yeah, that was a great home to tour. I really enjoyed that one.
Yes, it is very well done. And I think we're going to move on and, down into the cliff. Let's head on. So this is a great house.
This was a cool house.
So we first saw this one, and I was hoping we were going to get this. Timing worked out that we were able to get this as the last house for the last show this year. And Charles Gregory met us there. And so we are going to be over at 1535 Stemmons Avenue. And oh, what a treat this house is.
Yeah, this is in that East Kessler Hill area that is right behind Methodist Hospital and is one of the gem neighborhoods of Dallas.
Yeah.
There are Dallas is not known for its topography, but this is one of those areas where you've got hills, you have really great downtown views and single-family homes. You have great accessibility into downtown, whether it's through the smaller feeder streets or on the highway.
And the great thing too, in addition to what you were saying, is commutability. So if you're someone who has to get to Arlington, maybe even Fort Worth, this is going to allow you to be on the west side of downtown. If you work downtown, this is a great feed into it. One of the other things too that we're noting, that there is a chance that in the Cedars, which is just around the corner from here, is where the high-speed train will actually have its station set up to get you into Houston, possibly Fort Worth, and the other large cities in the area.
Yeah. Taking a look at this house was really an amazing experience because the house sits way up on top of a hill.
You don't get that very often.
You really don't. And you may look at these stairs and be a little intimidated by it, but it's got a really great driveway that comes up the side there that makes it super duper accessible.
Yep.
Outdoor space is remarkable on this home, not only in the backyard, we'll get to in a minute, but these are the outdoor front porches that you have these really amazing tree views.
So inside, what they've done is they've really brought it into that clean line feel that is very popular today. One of the things that we learned was that the actual windows that they've used are steel structure supports. So they're actually load bearing and give you this amazing view. And as we're going to see in another couple of images, how they really put these to use.
Yeah, and this is I think he said this was a 16-foot wall. 60-foot wall, wall of glass that looks out on an amazing infinity edge pool.
So this outdoor space, and I think we're going to talk about it a little more later, has a lot of entertaining and such great view. From the inside, you get this amazing kitchen, and again, they've done a really good job of having large windows over the sink that allow you to look at a really amazing modern home just across the street from this one.
Black granite countertops, black granite island, seating at the island. This has Thermador 6-burner range plus the griddle, and living space in this is really remarkable. That behind that wall there with the TV is that 60-foot wall of glass, but you have this really great, comfortable living room that their sectional fits into, that just is great living space.
Yep, it's two-sided and it's amazing. Downstairs, we have, it's almost a wing in and of itself. So this is the office that they use, but the way that it is set up, it could also be a bedroom. This is the bathroom that is accessible to this. And then there's also another bedroom downstairs that was the original master. And so you have these really amazing places. Then we go upstairs.
Yeah, and this is the master bedroom with, again, these amazing walls of glass. It has the remote control electric blinds that you probably would never need to close up there.
No.
And
I was also going to say, this is one of the only homes that I think we've had on tour that actually had a dual bathroom situation.
Yes.
So this is the first master bathroom, and then there is yet a second master bedroom, both with a little different flavor, but amazing space there nonetheless.
yeah, and that's a big whirlpool tub there, again, with all of the glass that looks out into the trees and has no blinds on it because no one can see in there. It's great.
And these are additional bedrooms that the house has. So there's a bedroom 3 and a bedroom 4 as well. 4 and 5 on this one, that allow for all the space for everyone. So whether they're guests or family members, this is one of those houses that I feel like everybody could go. Everybody would have their space, and amazingly, everybody's going to have a view from their window or from their room.
Yeah, and there's even room for the, wait for it.
See how many seconds did you put on this slide? Says he's like, oh, there it is.
The music room.
Yes. So this is off of the master. It's upstairs. One of the great things about the bedrooms that are upstairs is that they all open up to a space that could be almost a wraparound second floor balcony that we're going to see in another picture. But again, this just shows you the versatility, whether you need to have a drum kit and 8 guitars, I don't know, but they have it here for you.
And the outdoor space on this is phenomenal. Infinity Edge pool, as I mentioned earlier. Just a wonderful outdoor living space, full kitchen out there. It's all covered and lighted really well. Fireplace right there by the jacuzzi.
With the waterfall edge.
With a waterfall. Yeah.
Amazing.
Great.
So this is a 5-bedroom, 6-bath, 4-car garage. If we didn't say that, it's 5,087 square feet and it's built in 1949. It's priced at $1,495,000, which brings us in right at $293.89 a square foot.
Yep. And we'd like to say thank you to Charles Gregory and Ryan Strive for letting us talk about their home today.
Yep. And again, Charles, thank you so much for meeting us and showing us this house.
Yeah, that was a fun tour.
It was amazing.
Fun tour and fun lunch afterwards.
It was. Learned a lot.
We did.
Learned a lot.
So we can't tell here.
Well, tune in, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a year in review on stats for 2019.
We'll be right back.
There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram page where you can see the latest homes that we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com, where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you find of interest. If you're interested in how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of pieces of information about your home and we will email you a price. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223.
Hi, everybody. We're back with our second segment, episode 66 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
Yep. And today we wanted to take is the perfect time to look back and see where we've been in 2019.
Yes, we pulled statistics that are only for about 4 of the areas that we cover.
Right.
We have a tool that we use that is really an amazing product that we can really zero in on super specific neighborhoods if you would like. And if you want to bring that first slide up, I'll show you just a little bit of what we have to choose from in narrowing data down.
And the deal with this data, it really helps us talk more precisely about what's happening, because we see headlines all the time that talk about what North Texas and the Metro Texas is doing. But this is what we want to really look at and see what's the weather like in a certain area.
Yeah, this is one of those tools that we can do like 30,000 foot views, or we
Right.
can do 5-foot views.
And it's so important because I think headlines grab the 30,000, but the reality is the 5.
Yes, real estate is local.
And the other thing too is that this can get so tight that we can pull out price points, we can pull out new, or we can pull out previewed. There's a lot of different things that we have the ability to get in there to help create a very clear, realistic picture of past and kind of work with forecasting.
Absolutely. We've chosen to talk about 4 areas today because they're areas that we find ourselves in quite frequently, and we have a lot of friends and clients and customers that live in these 4 areas. And so I'd kind of like to define those just real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do North Dallas.
Okay, Northwest Dallas area, which is going to be coming up in a few minutes in the blues, is really defined by LBJ Freeway all the way down to Northwest Highway. To the west is Interstate 35, and to the east is Midway Road. So it's a really big area, but you do have a lot of commercial stuff off on the kind of the western side of there that wouldn't come into this. So.
Right.
And the first thing we wanted to talk about was the number of sales that have closed year to date to the end of November. This first area that we just talked about, there were 587 houses that closed in that segment. We also pulled in Oak Cliff, which is geographically a really large area. This is almost all of South, I'm going to call it all of South Dallas, that is really really even goes across Interstate 35.
And I would say that is the reason why you saw 1455 solds in that area. And then if you look in the central Dallas, which is North Dallas, which is 635 Northwest Highway at the south, midway over to 75, that is actually going to be also probably the number 2 largest section that we have over there. And that came in with 833 sales.
And then Oak Lawn, which is not geographically that big of an
smallest.
area. It's, really, I mean, what it says it is, Oak Lawn, Uptown, and it includes downtown. There were 1,031 sales this year just in that market.
And so that puts that one in the number 2. But if you divide it by if you were somehow able to calculate per capita in that area, it would probably be different because there's so many condos and townhomes in there. So this is where
changes so much down there.
Exactly. We're kind of moving away from the area just north of that would be larger estates.
Yes, very much so.
And that kind of brings us into the average sales price, where the number of sales can offset and show you what that looks like in price per square foot, or average sales price.
Right. In that Dallas Northwest area, the average sales price was $460,204. In the Oak Cliff area, the average sales price was $242,431. And then in that Dallas North area that we talked about, that's kind of the estate area, the average sales price was $981,000. And last of all, Oak Lawn, which has an average sales price of $461,000.
And the average sales price kind of is an interesting thing because, again, you get to divide more into it, and it increases that. So.
Yeah, and the area where we were talking about with the $900,000 average sales price, those lots are so much bigger, and so much of the value is in that land.
Yes, and there's going to be a lot of those pieces of land up for sale just because of what they experienced with the last set of tornadoes that ran through.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see more land inventory come to the marketplace in the spring and summer of next year.
Absolutely. And the other thing that we were able to calculate is then the price per square foot. And this is really kind of this in and of itself is a 30,000 square foot or a 30,000 foot view, because there's so many things that can go into making this price per square foot.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
So you can see that there in the Northwest area, they were at 196 a square foot. And then Oak Cliff might have a few more homes that still are in that transition, dropped down to 143, and then over in 11, where the estates are at 240 a square foot, and the Oak Lawn came in at the highest. And why do you think? Because I have an idea of why.
My thought is that, that because of the density, you've got smaller homes that are just going to bring the larger dollar per square foot. Plus you get into, we have some of the most expensive dollar per square foot products in some of the high-rise condominiums that are
Absolutely.
Turtle Creek, the Ritz-Carlton,
Downtown
the
is
Blue
really
Seal, the Azure, yeah.
So there are, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that it's smaller square foot, increases the price per square foot, and then also just some of those penthouses and just one bedrooms in some of those really amazing places can start at $1 million.
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
So another question that we get asked quite often is days on market. How's the market doing from an overall perspective? And I have to say, I think we still have a super brisk market here.
Absolutely. It's not, and I would say it's manageable right now, whereas it's not, and they talk about all the time, it's not the same as what it was, but when it was so out of control, that was not a fun market to live in.
No, it wasn't fun for buyers or sellers, either one.
Nope. And now we've kind of normalized, and earlier we talked about like 6 months, and that was an average balance for certain markets. But here you can see that in North Dallas, their average is 26 days on the market. Oak Cliff is 25 days on the market.
Dallas North, that estate area is 41 days on the market. And then you get into Oak Lawn and they've got a little bit longer at 42 days on the market.
Yep. And the deal is we're seeing houses that can still move in 2 and 3 days, even a day, when they're priced right, when they're in the right condition for the buyer, and those work out.
Yeah.
And it is what today's buyers want. I think that they've seen enough, and they are able to educate themselves that they can make that choice.
Yeah, I would agree. And, we're seeing there's still protections built into the market, especially when you've got a mortgage involved, because the appraisal process is still there. And while the appraisal part of the mortgage is not to protect the borrower, but it's to protect the lender,
Right.
It's still got that benefit of it. And I mean, we saw it this week.
Yep, we saw it, and it's kind of funny because we opened up the show and we talked about flippers and how you got to know what your out price is, and it was because of the lender's appraisal that we were able to come back in and renegotiate and get a better price. So, lots of things.
Yeah, lots of things. So I hope those stats were statistics, because stats is too short, were helpful
Sassy.
today. It's stats can be kind of boring sometimes, but hopefully these kind of hit the high notes. But know that if you want information about your specific neighborhood,
Right.
your specific age of house, style of house, whatever it is, we're happy to drill that down and get you information just about your home.
Yep. Well, we hope you found that interesting, and we hope you enjoyed tuning in. If you've got comments that you'd like to leave us, we'd love to hear them, and we'll be sure to respond to you. And I think that's a wrap for today.
Almost.
What else you got?
Join us starting in January on Wednesdays at noon.
Yep. Thank y'all so much. Happy New Year and happy holidays.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.